In today's episode, we're going to talk about all the tools that I use to organize my time and the time of my teams, and as well as a bit of methodology to use those tools. Hello everyone. So I recently been asked by my friend Olivier, that I know for years, and he knows that I am a very productive person. And he asked me recently, what are the tools that I use to organize my time? So that's a very good question, but I do want to answer that the tools are not the key. The tools are not there is not magical wands that you can they can have and no magical tools that can solve all our problems. The way you can solve your tasks and the way you organize your time is to work on yourself and to work on your priority. That's first what I really want you to know. So now just a bit of the way that it evolves. Of course, we do not organize our time the same way. I do not organize my time the same way I was doing last year or 5 years ago, because I evolved. I know myself way better than I knew myself 5 years ago. And now I allow myself to work in a way that provides me some pleasure in some way. So for example, for my own organization, I do not plan my morning. My morning are free. It's not that I'm not working on the morning, but it's because my morning are very creative. I know that it's the best time for me to create content, like videos, like content like this one as example. And I know that I'm going to be very productive. So this is not because I do not plan those mornings that I am not I do not set some goals. I always use the Pomodoro technique, and I always say that, okay, now it's time, this time in 1 hour, I want to have that done. I want to have this done, etc., etc. So that being said, it's also because I've learned to listen myself, my own emotions, and the way I want to work, and I want to let my brain decide what's the most relevant to do right now. But we need to, of course, define a vision and to be sure that everything is aligned towards one direction. And for that, I also use the OKR methodology. So OKR methodology is a well-known methodology in the startups environment. I did a quite good video on YouTube on that topic. You can search My CTO Friend OKR and you're going to find it on YouTube. And it allows me to start from my vision to then divide it into subtasks and sub goals, and to be sure that I move towards my end vision. So I review that on a regular basis, and it allows me to review my task lists on a weekly basis. So basically, my task list is nowadays I use it on Evernote. Usually I restart it every single week, and sometimes it's on my journal, sometimes it's on a quick notebook, but more often it's either Evernote or my journal. So yeah, as I was saying, I also use a journal. In my journal, it's kind of a gratitude journal. I was inspired by the 5-minute journal, I have two here, the Mastery Journal, the Freedom Journal from Johnny Dumas. Those type of journals really helped me to shape my own process. You don't need any specific journal. You need to have just a notebook and to follow the same path on a weekly basis. So you need to create your own morning routine. That's something very important, and morning and evening routine as well. So once you have that process, then you can move on to the tools that you can use. So for my point of view, to organize my own tasks, it's nothing more complex than a simple Evernote. I personally do not recommend Evernote anymore nowadays. It's really old school, but you can use whatever application and to-do list that is the most convenient for you. Now the things become different when we organize our time with a team, and that's what I do with several startups and my own team. So in that case, what is again the most important is not the tool, is the methodology. So usually I use a tool, could be like Trello, Notion, or sometimes Jira if it's a development team tool, and I organize the things a bit like an agile scrum methodology. I'm going to explain it very quickly. First, I have a list for all the ideas that we come up with. So anyone in the team have a new idea, they drop the idea in that list, and we're going to review it when we do what we call a sprint planning. We're going to do a meeting about planning our tasks. Then we have another list, which is to plan. So basically, that's all the things that we decided that we want to do and that we need to plan. Then after that, we have, of course, the in progress list and the done lists for the things that are in progress and the done. And in order to plan things ahead of time, we also create a single list for every week or every sprint, if we are on Jira, as example. So basically, I do recommend to start with 1 week. So I have the list for this current week, the list for next week, and the week after. And every time we do a planning meeting, I just move tasks from the to plan to the weeks that I want to achieve things, which allow us to organize our time from a personal perspective the way we want. My team is free to organize their time the way they want, and they just have a list of things to do every single week. So that's basically how I organize the time, my personal time, the time of my team, and how I keep things flexible, and how in the end the tool doesn't really matter. What really matters is to have lists of several lists, of the things that you have to achieve, and to synchronize all your own tasks with your team. That's what really counts at the end. So I hope it helps. I hope it's going to help you organize your time in a better way, maybe get more flexibility and pleasure in the way you organize your time, and not always having that constraint of planning every single hours in your calendar. So that's the way I organize my time. Create your own pattern, your own methodology. Until then, I wish you a great day, and talk again very soon in the next episode. Bye for now.